Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. So I know how everyone loves treats, and with my clients, that is where we tend to get into trouble. Because why? We look to food to feel better, and there's so many things that can go wrong. Trust me, I know. I've been needing some more treats over the last few months myself. So we just need to have better alternatives. So I'm the creator of the bioenergetic cooking method and this cookbook. In the back of Simple Cooking for Vitality, there's lots of delicious, this one here, the $1 million. This is the frosting for the $1 million chocolate cake that I make on my birthday every year. So this chocolate avocado mousse, there's alternatives. We're making today a plant-based cookie because I'm helping people understand what plant-based is, what it does. It removes some of the highly inflammatory ingredients, okay? Now, my $1 million chocolate chip cookie, I actually keep that frozen in chunks in the refrigerator because we want a big, delicious, warm, gooey chocolate chip cookie. That's really what we're looking for. So it's much better there. This cookie, we're going to cook them all. I'm going to keep them frozen. It's a little bit harder. It's a peanut butter chocolate chip, things together. So instead of using butter or Crisco like I used to use when I was younger, we're using an energy fat coconut oil. We're using a very clean, just straight up peanut butter. We're using other alternative sugars that are not as refined as white sugar. We're using a unrefined organic coconut sugar. We're using some Vermont maple syrup or maple syrup. And we're not even using eggs in this. I'm going to show you how to use a flax egg. So it was all foreign to me. And we're not using white flour. We're going to be using cassava flour from the yucca root. This is really big in certain cultures to have cooked yucca. It is more of a resistant starch. It is a starch. The conversion is 1 cup of regular flour to 3/4 of cassava. So that's what we're using today. Delicious. Are you ready? We're actually putting real raw peanuts in this. It's going to be yummy. And for chocolate chips, I always keep the Hue brand gems on hand. Don't skimp on your chocolate chips. Get some really good ones made with just real ingredients, or get the 100% raw cacao, which are, I only have a little bit of those left. So it's just all chocolate. All right. So I'm going to get on my apron. We're going to get rocking. It's a 1 bowl recipe. It's super easy. So the traditional ways of making cookies is you start with the shortening or the butter, and then you cream in the sugars. I like to do everything by hand. I don't use a machine. So we're going to start with the sugars in here. We're going to add in the coconut oil, and we're going to go from there. So we need 1/2 cup of the raw coconut sugar. This is great. So why is it? It's less refined, so it doesn't go straight. Obviously, it's a sugar, but the body recognizes the other nutrients in here, making it higher quality. You need 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Again, you can't reproduce maple syrup. It's made from a tree, from the sap. We used to make it in Vermont on our stove. So when I'm not on film, I would totally use my finger to clean this out. Having these little spatulas are really handy. All right. So just give this a mix, because now we have the maple syrup in here with the coconut sugar. Combine that. Now we're going to get in the coconut oil. This is my favorite to bake with and to cook with. I have another one. It's a virgin organic, but it's not Nutiva Brand. This is what I cook with and bake with because it's higher quality. So we just need 1/4 cup of this. I can actually eyeball it, but for you guys, I will measure it out. If you store this, you don't want it to melt, of course, but there we go. So once you do this a lot, you'll be able to kind of figure out how much is a quarter cup without having to dirty all your measuring utensils. So we're going to mix this in and then get in the peanut butter. So we're what we're doing is all of the wetter ingredients with the peanut butter. Before that, let's make a flax egg, which is just 1 tablespoon of, this is fresh ground flax. I ground brown flax seeds with my coffee grinder. And so it's 1 tablespoon of flax to 3 tablespoons of filtered water, right? Just get a little filtered water, measure this out. So as this sits, it gets thicker. But then, of course, flax seeds add a nice bit of omega-3, fiber, other things, ingredients that you're getting here. And there are several people that have troubles with eggs, even if they're using organic ones. So they cut back on them. It can activate certain viruses in the body. So peanut butter, this is one of the ones I like. There are other ones, but make sure that you're getting just organic peanuts, nothing else, no palm, no sugar, no stuff like that. So of course, I grew up on Skippy and Jif. Jif was our favorite in our family, but added sugars, you know, everything back then, we had no idea what was going on. High fructose corn syrup. So we need a 1/2 cup of this. Let me see if I have, I'm just gonna use this quarter cup here, fill it up a couple times. Okay. Oh no. We're going to be rolling these into balls and then cooking them. So they're going to be like uniform. They're a little crispier than the chocolate chip cookies that are in my cookbook, because they're meant to be. They're more of like a tea cookie. And chocolate chip cookies are just, well, they're chocolate chip cookies. You just want big, gooey chunks of chocolate. All right, so we're just going to mix this up too. So you see how we have the mixture looking really nice here. Let's get the vanilla in. That's something else that I would add in next. You need a full teaspoon of vanilla. You can double this recipe. I don't really need that much, so I'm just doing half of what you could actually do. So you can double this recipe for more people in the family. Okay, great. Now we're going to want to add in the flax egg. So it's been sitting a little while here, so it's starting to get a little thick. So that's why these little bowls are actually really good too. They're super easy to clean as well. Okay. How relaxing is it to make cookies, right? That's what I grew up doing. You know, I needed extra nurturing as a child. So I self-nurtured by baking. And that's the way I showed my love for family, brothers, father, and kind of the way I still operate. We don't have to sift this, which is great. I used to use a sifter. So just check here. All we need is a 1/2 cup of the cassava and a nice 1/2 teaspoon of, I love this fine pink Himalayan sea salt. Rich. And I don't like baking powder. So to get around that, I utilize lemon with the baking soda. And that gives a little, we don't need them to rise too much, but, and all we need is a quarter. So I do get the non-aluminum baking soda. You want to make sure that we're getting aluminum into our body enough as it is. I'm not sure if they're spraying it in the air or what, but keeps coming up in my test. So 1/4 teaspoon of that. And that's why I have my little lemon squeezer around, because I use it often. And you can just use the other half of the lemon for the morning to have with some water. So we just need a little bit of this, and you can drink the rest, add it to your water. So fresh squeezed lemon, terrific. You can even put this down the sink. Keep it smelling nice and fresh. Okay. So this obviously creates, if you add acid to baking soda, it's going to fizz. And that's what's happening here. Easy. Now, this smells really good. You know, sugar and peanut butter, definitely a good hit. So now making sure this is dry, we need a nice big 1/2 cup of the cassava. So I used to use a knife as a child, which I will again. Just kind of shake it down here. So I've only made this recipe once before. So let's see if I adjusted it, but I didn't write down my adjustments. Now we're going to be, so let's let this sit for a little bit. We're going to be crunching up peanuts. So these are raw. These are just raw. They're not roasted and they're not salted. 1/2 cup. So I just put them in a baggie like this, and then I bang on them with my meat tenderizer, because it's always handy. Or you can use the back of my gelato scooper. And I've been using that a lot lately. If you haven't seen the video for the vegan chocolate gelato, check it out in the mix. So easy. So for like 69 bucks, you can get yourself a Cuisinart ice cream sorbet maker, and you can experiment utilizing energy type of a alternative to milk, such as coconut milk and raw chocolate. So there's the peanuts, we got those in. So it's going to be nice and chunky, which is great. And next up, I want to get lots of chips. So this is the rest. I purchased, now hopefully stop carrying them for some reason, but 100% raw cacao. You can get Pasha brand online at Amazon. And now I'm also going to put some of the gems in here for a nice big pop of flavor. Getting back to human. So basically, none of the lecithins and the fillers in here. We got some big chunks there. So this is exciting. So always have these on hand. Buy them when they're on sale. You know what? You want to have quality ingredients, and it just makes you feel good when you're filling your body with high quality ingredients. Did we forget anything? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to tidy up, and then we're going to put these into balls and bake them. So we'll be right back. So while you're cleaning up, you want to put the dough into the refrigerator to chill. I did change the recipe a tiny bit. I added a 1/4 cup more of the cassava. I think I did that last time and I didn't write it down. So parchment paper, make sure you always have parchment paper. It just makes cleaning up and cooking and protecting your food so much better. So you need parchment paper, wax paper, foil, cling wrap, and little baggies. So if you're stopping by the channel, hi guys. Hope you're loving these quick little demo videos. This is going to be a yummy stick to the M plant-based cookie to have on hand in the freezer to have with your tea, coffee, and just to make you feel satisfied when you really need it. Delicious. Yeah, I've already tasted it. So get yourself a nice teaspoon here. Put it into the freezer when you chill it. See, so now it's like perfect to roll into balls. And we're just gonna complete this several times here. But if you use the same spoon, you're gonna get around the same size ball. And then all we're gonna do is flatten them out a little bit. So let me get all of these made. It's actually quite easy here. You know, because of the coconut oil, and so it does. So we have some nice balls already. And so let me just finish doing all these. We'll get them into the oven, and we're gonna have cookies in no time. Then okay, 375, about 11 minutes. Set your timer. Okay. So the back of my book has lots of things that you can go to feel better. We want sugar trips out your dopamine, and we're all looking to feel better. So that's why I've got things like Hug in a Jar, grain-free blueberry crisp. It's probably going to be one of the next recipes I do, because I used to make a peach cobbler and a blueberry cobbler, and those cobblers are filled with inflammatory flowers and other things. So we're going to see how that, and everyone at my supper club loves that. So we're going to have cookies right here in just a few minutes. And that's a recipe. I keep these in my freezer. They're perfect, nice and chilled, and great little crunchy, delicious peanut chocolate chip mixed cookie. It's smelling great, and they are ready. How cute these are. I have another pan ready to go. So what I did, see how they crackle up real nice? What I did at 11 minutes, I just took the spatula and I gave them a little pat on the top to round them out. And I actually cooked them for 3 more minutes. So depending on the heat of your oven. And I'm just gonna put them right here on the counter. They will cool real nicely. And I've already got some delicious tea made. So I'm going to have a few of these. I want to let them cool though first. It's always nice to have these cute little plates. Look how delicious this is. So they are a little bit too warm for me right now to eat. I've already got these ready. We're going to put these back in the oven. And the recipe makes about 24. So again, I'm setting the timer to 11 minutes so I can check them. But that's the recipe, super awesome. And then I save them in a glass container in the freezer, and I separate them with wax paper. So I hope you enjoy this. Give it a shot. Totally delicious and easy. If you love my videos, give them a little thumbs up. If you'd like to get notifications, I think there's a little bell you can press. So have a great day right here from KK's Fit Kitchen.